Hey, this is Mike Gaffney.
This is Joe Fernandez.
You're listening to All in Our Heads.
Yes, and we're putting this in the beginning because we always feel like we wait till the end to tell you guys to go to iTunes and rate the show. Rate and comment. That helps us move up in the charts. Or probably even if you're on iHeartRadio, maybe you can rate it each time or anywhere where you listen.
Anywhere you listen to a podcast, if you can rate it and share it. Like, we have a lot of people who enjoy our podcast. I know that I don't know how many, but you're listening and enjoying it and commenting and saying, hey, good job, guys. If you can just share the link on your page and tell people, hey, this is a funny thing, that would be awesome.
Yeah, just rate and comment. That helps us, so please do that. The tens of hundreds of you, please do that for us so we can grow this podcast. That's what we want, because if we come up in the charts, then our logo shows up higher.
Right.
And then people are like, hey, what's this? This is legit.
Yes, and then we get more and more people, and then we can maybe have guests on because it means something to be on the show.
Exactly. So there you have it, people. Do that.
Thank you, guys.
You're listening to All in Our Heads with Joe Fernandez and Mike Gaffney. Please enjoy the show.
Yo, you there?
Is my thing messed up again?
No, I hear you.
All right, so I put my old microphone back in, and it's working now. So,
good.
What was that about?
I don't know. So let me make sure I'm recording. Talk again?
Is it working? Do I sound like a squirrel?
No squirrel. We're good to go. It's nice. It's weird. Like, I have this new system, and it's way better than the old way I did it. But right. I'm so used to doing it the old way, I have no faith in the new system, so I constantly keep checking to see if shit's right.
Right.
And it's easier than the old way of doing it, but it just...
Not for you. Nothing's easier for you.
No, it is, but it's just like the faith in it.
But nothing is easier for you and your complicated brain of trust.
Oh, dude, nothing's easier for me today, man. That's why we're doing this an hour late than I wanted to. Got my piece of furniture in the mail. I bought this electric fireplace entertainment unit. It's like got like fake fire and shit, and then throws off heat, or it just looks nice. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. We have one.
All the measurements online, worked good for me. Right. I'm like 90% done. I look at the cabinet and I'm like, that doesn't look wide enough for my surround sound component.
Right.
And it's 2 inches off. It don't fit in there. I'm like, so I didn't put the doors on or nothing. I called. I'm like, can I just bring this back to the store assembled? I don't want to disassemble this mother. Yeah, bring it back. We'll reimburse you. Not only that, like the pre-drilled holes they give you, they forgot to do a couple of those. I had to do my own.
Really?
I had to get my drill out, fucking measure. I'm like, geez, I impressed myself. I was pretty handy. But like the carpenter's thing is like measure twice, cut once.
Yep.
I measured 75 times because I have no faith in myself. So, oh no, yeah. But I was like, because I'm like, if I drill this fucking hole is here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me measure. A little dot. And I'm like, well, okay, let's make sure again. I had no faith in my measuring abilities, but all that work to now have to just throw it in the truck when Kerry gets home to bring it back.
Now, what were the dimensions online? How were they off?
2 inches.
But was it off from the measurements online? The 2 inches were off?
Yes.
Okay.
2 inches. Or I went online because it says it was 18 inch. It's supposed to be 18 inches wide, 13 inches deep.
Right.
So my surround sound is 12 inches deep.
Right.
Like 12 and like a little bit more than 12. So the deep was fine and the sides were good.
Right.
And it just wasn't the case.
So what's the actual depth?
15. Oh, the depth is fine. The depth is still good. It's the width.
So it went from 18 to 15?
Went from 17 to 15.
Really?
So I don't know why, but it just is.
And now they said maybe they have one that's 18?
No. I bought this online, so you have to deal with an online person. Like, you just got to bring it, and then
yeah.
You could, like, they have no. It's just some dude. He's not like. He's not a fucking furniture salesman. He's just like, he's sitting there, you're trying not to commit suicide. So I told Kerry, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go, because I'm just going to go to a better store, and I'm not going to trust online. That's sometimes you get burned online, you know what I mean, with shit like that. So I'm just going to go with my own fucking measuring tape to like place where you can get it fucking assembled there, and I'll just fucking throw it in the truck there.
Right.
Like,
and you could talk to somebody. This is what I need. There's no wiggle room. I need this.
Yeah. Well, I tried to save myself a few bucks.
Right.
I go a little cheaper, and I burn myself. But I didn't really burn myself. I'm getting all my money back. I'm losing an hour and a half of my time.
Right.
And it looks great. I'm like, this is so... Like, I was trying to look like any way to get my thing in there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe I'll just put it on top. I'm like, no, we're trying to avoid it looking shitty.
Right.
That's what this whole cabinet is for.
Yeah, why? I spent I spent money to make it look worse.
Right. Well, see, like 20-something-year-old single Joe would have been like, I'm just throwing that shit on top. I'm not bringing this back.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
41-year-old mature.
41-year-old mature, like, fuck that,
Worked hard for my monny.
Worked hard for my money, nor do I want to hear everyone ask why it's up there every time they enter the house. See, like in my 20s, all my degenerate friends would just go in and be like, it's fucking great. Exactly. They wouldn't even notice.
Unless it was on fire, we wouldn't even be paying attention.
Yep.
Hey, I want to talk to you. I know if you probably saw it on my Facebook. I need to get it off my chest early, so if people listen, they listen to this part.
Okay.
I posted a joke yesterday on Facebook. Granted, the joke leans left. The joke is directed at one retard on the right. However, I don't mention any political parties, and the punchline is to make you to not mention them.
Just read the joke.
I wanted to give that first.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Joe.
I was like, why is it going to be so cryptic with this fucking
47-year-old man? I know what I'm doing. I was thinking. This is the joke. I was thinking about dressing up as a judgmental, non-fact-checking, hate-spewing, fear-mongering, lying racist, closed-minded homophobe, but I don't own a red tie.
I thought it was funny.
That's the joke. I don't own a red tie. I'm not. I'm talking about Trump, but I'm just any politician wears red ties. I could be talking about any of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was leaning towards the right, but it's a joke about Halloween. Other people were pussy grabbing jokes and whatever, Hillary joke, whatever. One joke, which I thought was great, and it was against the person I'm voting for. It was by I don't know if you saw Dan Ritchie's joke. I wanted to dress up as Hillary's emails, but the time I got to them, they were missing.
That's funny.
That's a funny joke.
Yeah.
I like that joke. Now, on that post, he's going to get a lot of, I know the cunt, and it goes right to there.
I know the
he's
cunt.
losing. Yeah, it's the fucking email. What a criminal bitch. Throw her in prison. It goes right to there, even though he meant a joke. Yeah. I haven't read his post, but I'm sure he dealt with that. Uh-huh. And he could agree. Be like, yeah, that cunt should go in jail. I don't know what his stance is. I put a joke up, not inviting political debates.
Right.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
And the first thing I get from a woman, I get a couple of things that really bother me. First thing, she says, ouch. Not funny. Sorry, Mike. Now, ouch.
Ouch.
So I said, first off, were you confused? Did you think I was asking for approval? No, I don't care if you think it's funny. Some people think I'm funny, and that's great. They don't. I can't help you out there.
Uh-huh.
But how are you offended by that is what I asked. She goes, I'm not offended. I'm like, then why ouch? What the fuck did somebody say ouch for if it didn't hurt you?
Right.
How does it hurt? I said the only way you should be offended is if you either wear red ties or you don't like when I make fun of your candidate.
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't have a candidate. Then what made you ouch? I don't get what was ouchy right there.
Right.
And she's like, ouch equals offended? Not in my world. Well, then what does it mean?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you seem the one to be offended. I'm like, the only offense I'm taking right now is the fact that you're doing this political shit on a joke. That's what I'm offended at. What made you think that this was, hey, this is a serious stance Mike has on this guy. Let's get in some conversation. Where do you not see the Halloween joke in the red tie? You don't see any of that?
No. Well, you know, it's the moment you try to do anything like a politic joke, it's literally people just take it the wrong way. They just take it.
I am baffled at what makes you think that you're stupid, and this is not against her. She was like, I'm sorry. And then she tried to dig me. She's like, I'm just a fan. I saw you at a comedy show. I thought you were funny live at least. Like, and then I said, well, if you don't think I said, oh, so I go, so I'm going to be, you want to be sarcastic? I can right back. I said, I'll tell you what it says. Oh, so the post says he's not funny comedian. So you're telling me this post says I'm a funny comedian? So it has nothing to do with the content of the joke. Just the structure and punchline wasn't up to par. You were purely critiquing my comedy. Well, if that's the case, I'm sorry I reacted to you.
Yeah.
You were critiquing the joke. You were mad because I was making fun of Trump, someone that you support, and all of those things that I listed him as, you feel that maybe you were them, or you don't want to be them. Whatever the case is, I wasn't talking about you, so why take it so personal? I was just joking about Trump.
Yeah, well, people take this shit personal for some godforsaken reason.
And so then I leave it. We whatever. She says, you're cranky too, whatever, and I let it go. I didn't say another word to her.
Right.
And then another person I know in the program said,
"Oh boy."
Or you can wear a blonde wig and go as a lying, egotistical, self-serving, murdering wife of a sick pervert. Ha ha. Now, that's a great joke.
Right.
If you want to do it on your wall.
Right.
You're doing it on this wall.
Yeah.
Just to go against what I said. And
yeah.
Once again, why do you feel the need? Dude, I said, if I was commenting on everybody's post that go against what I believe in, I would be exhausted.
Right.
I let people just ramble on. There's some sick shit out there. I don't get involved. I can't get involved.
Right. Well, first, you're a comedian, so you're obviously making a joke. It's structured like a joke. It reads like a joke, even if you were specifically talking about Donald Trump and not all politicians. It's a joke you're writing about how you feel about something. So it should be looked at as a joke. And people don't. But I'm not even regular people. Even comedians I see get mad at jokes that don't go with their ideology.
Right, right.
Like, I'm so disappointed in this election process sometimes of comedians that are sitting there making points and not even trying for humor. It's like, you're a comedian.
Right.
I just read this whole thing and you didn't even go for a punchline? Like, you're really trying to do points? Let
me say something. If I believe, like, I kind of don't say as much as I want to say, and I have some strong opinions on certain things.
Right.
I don't say them because I don't feel like engaging.
Right.
But I don't say them. Somebody wants to put something out that they truly believe in, like, say, like a Ted Alexandro. If he truly believes in that stuff and he's putting his stuff out, I believe he believes it.
Yeah.
He's not looking to be humorous. He's got a point to make and he's got a platform to use.
Right, but he usually tries to be humorous with his posts.
Yeah.
There's always an angle of, even if it's sarcasm, sometimes it's sarcastic humor.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, you know what I mean?
But that person, she had to say, well, she had a kid involved. The one who just said, what I said, and then I was like, you guys know that most politicians wear red ties. I know you guys can't wait for the orange one to take office so he can get rid of everyone and make sure people like me never make fun of him again. But these are just jokes. So you guys don't have to defend so hard unless you're offended. Right. If I spent all day commenting on people's posts that hated everything I believed in, I would be exhausted. So I'm not trying to make you see my point or change your mind. I was just making a joke. Granted, at the expense of the guy you love, but it's a joke nonetheless.
There you go. But
it's a joke.
It's a joke. But people don't.
Yes.
The people are fucking nuts.
It is a joke. And it is truly how I feel about the human. Right. Yes. But I also made a joke. Am I opening myself up to criticism? Absolutely. So I said that. I know that I'm opening myself up to criticism. And She said, she goes, it seems you're the only one upset here. I'm not. And by the way, love is a strong word. Just picking what is, in my opinion, the lesser of two evils. I hate when people say that. I just hate. That's the worst excuse ever. You want Trump. You just don't want to say that you believe in everything he believes in because you know it's vile and you don't want to own it. So you let him own it.
Right.
And you act like, it's a Hillary, that cunty email lady. That's all you got. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If it was any other person running but Hillary, you would.
Yeah.
It's gross.
I'm picking him because I had no other choice. No, you're picking him because you believe in every hateful thing that comes out of his mouth, but you can't say those words because then you're a piece of shit. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, because he's talking like a bar guy. He's like, it says it like it is.
Yeah, let me tell you, if I had this country, well, the guy at the bar doesn't get the country. Thank God.
Yeah. It reminds me of like that. It's like that, like in meetings, like you had that pompous guy that just like says whatever. He speaks really well, this guy's fucking great, but he's banging newcomers on the side, fucking stealing from people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you got the guy that's like this quiet guy in the corner that you hear from every few months.
Yep.
And you're like,
he doesn't have an overwhelming message, but he's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just like him. Like my brother, for instance. Like I was trick or treating with my nieces and nephews, hanging with my brother, and we were talking about it, and I was telling him, I'm like, Mike, I've always taken my vote like seriously. I'm having a hard time just deciding whether I even want to go vote.
Right.
Like I may just sit this one out and watch it on TV and see how it plays out. And he's just like, you know what, man? I'm just voting for Trump because he's not a politician. I'm just sick of these politicians. Just try something different. Like, and I'm just like, all right. At least I can respect you have a reason.
Yeah.
Instead of people like lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He at least has a reason.
Yeah, so here's a person came on that post. Now, this girl is Amy Cohen. She's the woman who traveled 2 hours from Utah to see me in Vegas. Who saw me on Last Common Standing. So she posted in the middle of this mess because I told the girl, said, you seem the one who only went upset. I said, the reason why I'm upset is because this is a joke. But instantly when I posted it, I had to be told how bad Hillary is. Like, why? Are you telling me how bad Hillary is? I don't give a motherfuck. You obviously don't care how bad Trump is. Why are you here telling me this shit?
Yeah.
And then it clicked. I mean, not that it clicked, but I was like, you know what? Even if it's a joke, I am opening myself up. Doesn't matter if it's funny or not funny. If it was meant to be a joke, you can't get off. You can't get off that easy because you said I'm only playing. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But what makes people feel that they can come on and say shit to you? I don't get it.
Because you put it out there. I think where you went wrong is you engaged them. Let them put whatever they want. They have freedom to put whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know, engaging them, you're going to go nowhere. You're going in a rabbit hole. No one's going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I posted a joke one time that was pretty pro-Trump, but people are so dumb. They don't, like I always try and write jokes where you can't even almost tell who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
You know, I did a thing, and this guy was a Trump supporter, and I did a joke. It's like almost an observation. I said, it's pretty funny to me that Bernie Sanders supporters are going to elect a billionaire just to prove a point.
Right.
And he goes, you passive-aggressive little shit, go suck on a dick. And I'm like, wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even get that I'm supporting his guy with that joke.
Yeah.
I'm saying your guy's going to win. But he was he just saw Bernie. And went nuts. Right? But most of the time when I do a political post and people start that, I'll either just like their comment or be like, okay, I don't even go because
you know what?
You're inviting insanity.
Here's the thing, and I try to keep it fair and balanced, right?
Yeah.
All the people who
what are you, Fox News?
Yeah. All the people who are obviously supporting – let me finish. All the people who are obviously supporting Clinton come on that post as well. They all have positive things to say about Clinton or they jump in and say, yeah, Trump this, that, you know what I mean? And I don't like their comments and I don't address their comments because I don't want it to make it like it's a Hillary rally either. It's a joke. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to take them too serious. So I didn't even like their comments or joke back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just let them say their stuff. But then the people with the hate got to come in and then that's the ones I engage. I don't engage the people who are on my side. That's easy.
Right.
Of course we could all go back. Hey, Trump does suck. I know he does. Blah, blah, blah. That'd be a waste of a fucking hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I tried to at least say, why are you here making noise on my post? So then this girl, Amy, who, like I said, came to see me in Vegas, she goes, you're a comedian. Because I made the joke about, Trump will get in and I'll be gone and I won't be able to say, everybody will be gone and we won't be able to say jokes about him.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, because he'll lock it up. He'll lock it up. Nobody's saying jokes about, the leader of the free world.
Right.
So I said, she goes, you're a comedian and an amazing one at that. If people can't laugh at jokes or can only laugh at safe jokes or jokes that only they like, then it's absolutely missed the point. Comedy is subjective and not everyone will find the same stuff funny. I get that. But for those who don't find something funny, they can just not laugh and move along. For people to pick apart a joke because of their political leanings is ridiculous. My parents left a country where if you make jokes or disagree with the regime, you are placed in prison without even a trial. So I'm proud to be an American where people can make jokes and not be jailed just because someone doesn't agree with the joke. Hello, people. This is comedy. Get over yourselves. That's just a regular fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
the way normal.
What I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I've seen you defend me on my posts in the past, even if it wasn't about this election. It was like something in the news, and you're like, excuse me, Joe's a comedian.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are seeing this.
Yeah.
My buddy's like, I'm voting for Trump, but the only condition is he doesn't get rid of you. Everyone else can go, but you're really funny. See, he was playing along.
Right.
I know he's a Trump supporter.
Right.
He is a very, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he leans extremely right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I'm all right with it. I know who he is. That's who he is. He's not in here telling me how Hillary emails are shitty and she's a piece of shit. He's not trying to convince me.
Yeah.
And you want to just joke around? You want to join like that, do a joke like that, but coming in and telling me how Hillary's just as bad is like, why would you do that here? I don't get it, man.
Yeah. I don't get it either.
I've seen
people are nuts.
And this is over a joke. I've seen some horrific shit like this email shit that's going on. The people on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, the uneducated, if you're listening to this, you uneducated motherfucking jerk-offs. You are the problem with the world. You uneducated, hate-spewing, regurgitating what fucking someone fed you motherfuckers. And listening to Trump say, finally, they got it right. She's going to prison. And you guys repeat it because the Fuhrer said it, you fucking Nazi retards. She's not going to prison, you morons. I don't know if anybody knows how the legal system works, but I'll give you a little hint. Say they close a case, such as the Hillary Clinton case, and new evidence arises. They can't just spend time and money to look at the evidence on a closed case. That will be spending government resources wrong. So they have to ask permission. Hey, can we spend some government resources to look into the emails? And in order to do that, you have to open the case back up so you can put men to work on the payroll. This isn't a fucking movie where the rogue cop is working behind the commissioner's back to make the case stick. No, you dumb fucks. They got to do like the right thing. So you have to open up the case so they can look at the emails. That's all that happened. That is it. You know what I mean? If there's a murder 10 years ago and a guy was convicted and then someone finds a gun and says this gun is related to the murder, but it's not that guy's gun, you can't just be like, all right, well, I'm going to take all my time and effort and investigate that gun and the government's going to pay me, although I'm not on the case for the government. I'm just going to do it on their time. Now, the police department will be like, let's see what the case is. No, we're not reopening it. Drop that fucking gun. Move on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they asked, hey, we need to reopen it just so we can spend some money to look at it. Okay, do that. That's it. The scumbag thing that happened is that Comey did it on purpose and is being vague on purpose. That was his way to pay back the Republicans because he could not make a case stick on her. So he repaid them with this gem.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Oh, it is? Because he's not telling you anything. He's not even saying
No, I go with what President Obama said about him. President Obama kind of defended him in this whole thing. And because people are questioning his integrity, but it's like, if he sat on it till after the election.
Absolutely.
It would have been.
It's not about not saying it. It's about how you said it.
Yeah.
All you have to say is the words I just said. We need to reopen the case. And it's not that she has any guilt, but we can't look at the case unless we reopen it. That's just the way the system works.
Yeah.
But not, we're reopening the case on Hillary. No more. We're going to say no more. That was the gem for Republicans.
Yeah. If this hurts her and she doesn't win, she has no one to blame but her fucking self. This arrogant bitch who, like, it's already emails are coming out where, like, they were telling her to dump all these emails. And she was just like, her arrogance if she loses, just like, is just outstanding. You know what I mean? She has no one to blame but herself. And Anthony Weiner for being a creep. Yeah,
but not with this. Listen, the emails are there. Most of them are probably duplicates on ones they've already seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If Trump wasn't running, if we had a normal person on the Republican side,
right,
these emails would be so huge to people. Like in the new, you know what I mean? If you didn't have such a creep,
why would they be used when they're not? Why would they be used? They're not used. Because
if you put it the other way, if you had like a Republican doing the same type of having, like, I mean, some stuff that Trump says is actually right. Like after Congress asked her about it, then she destroyed the evidence.
See, you bought it. You bought it. They just did it, a big thing on Fox News, actually, and other news. She was asked, "Can you give us your emails?" She wasn't subpoenaed. She was asked, "Can you turn them over?"
Right.
She went on and deleted personal emails. Yeah. Right. And then she was subpoenaed and turned them over. She never deleted emails after she was subpoenaed, only before. That's the misconception. She was asked by the State Department or the Justice Department, "Hey, we're going to need some of your emails." Not subpoenaed. "We're going to need some of your emails." She went on. I'm not saying her personally, but they went on and they got rid of all personal emails. Then she was subpoenaed and she turned over everything left. That's why they're saying
it's fishy. It's fishy. And I believe in any other election, if it wasn't a lunatic on the other side, people were trying to keep out of office, these would be a bigger deal to people. Her actions would make you feel not trusting of this person. Just like whatever Trump does, you not trust him. Like, this guy can't be our president. Like, if you put what she's doing in any other person's life that's running, you'd be like, I can't trust this motherfucker.
But we're only stuck on one thing, emails, and every email is turned up nothing. It's nothing. Nothing.
There's not nothing. It's not nothing illegal. It's just showing the phoniness of the politician. It's showing her using her foundation to funnel money into them. You know what I mean? It's like all this stuff that's coming out in these newer batch of emails, the Haiti emails.
Well, there's the one that's hey, something about, like, you do this and put more men. You know that email that came up?
Yeah.
Like if you trading favors.
Yeah.
Right? There was that, right? But it went nowhere. They didn't agree, so there was no extra guys put in. And the email that they were saying, "Hey, we're going to squash," they didn't squash, and there was nothing in that email. So why? Who cares?
My point is that, like, even the stuff that comes out about Trump, he's not doing nothing illegal either. He's just a fucking asshole who's schmarmy, and she's an asshole too.
But why make it something if it isn't? Why even say it?
Because that's politics.
I'm not saying that happens behind there, but when you're a normal person like you and me, we could talk about it and go, wait a minute. Well, it's not really. Is it swarmy? I'm sure if we knew a third of the swarminess that made this government run, we would be like, holy fuck, I don't want to know anymore. Right. Don't tell me anymore. Just do it.
I think that's the good thing about this election. I think that's the best thing that came out of this election between what Bernie gave us and what Trump gave us, is to really pull the curtain of what we already kind of knew and just really show how fixed the elections are, in case with the Democrats with Bernie and kind of like pushing him out. You know what I mean? The media's never been more biased than it's ever been. You know what I mean? It's just really pulled the curtain out. You know what I mean? It's really.
Well, I gotta say that the media needs to be biased. I know it shouldn't be, but when it comes to this fucking nut job,
right?
The media really needs to put out real information. They need to put out real information, not made up words.
Yeah,
real information, factual information.
Yeah.
Because up until 2 days ago, I too believed that she was subpoenaed for emails and went and deleted them. That's how he says it. But that's not what
Right.
happened.
Well, here's the thing about media. I mean, I studied media in college, and the media puts out what it wants the story to be. You know what I mean? There's always many stories, so you control the story.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the media's been controlling the story more in favor of her. The mainstream media. They have been, which shouldn't be the job of the media.
No. But I also...
You know what I mean? They should be...
I get it.
They should be equal time.
I get it. But in this particular case, am grateful.
Oh, yeah. No, because it's working out in your favor.
Because, yeah, and every, I mean...
But if it was the other way, if the media was slanted towards Donald Trump and attacking the shit out of Hillary and really showing they're trying to push this maniac, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You'd be furious with the media. You're only accepting the media because they're pushing your guys.
I think it's wrong, but I'm grateful that it's wrong because the guy is a bad person.
Right.
It's not a bad politician. He's not not that good at doing his job.
No, but I'm saying, that makes the media that takes all their credibility away.
I hear you. Unfortunately, but for this one, I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
I just am. Maybe that's wrong on my part. I am all right with it.
Yeah.
I'm all right because the media at least pushes the real story.
Yeah.
The real. I'm not saying.
Well, no, I mean not the whole story. They're just pushing your story.
Okay. Let's listen to Donald Trump. She got subpoenaed. She deleted emails. That's a criminal. That's a crime. Absolutely. She got subpoenaed and she deleted her emails. That is a crime. But that's not what happened. But you thought it happened. That's fucking nuts. You heard him say, I'm not saying it bad against you.
No, I
I'm
know.
just saying in general, people hear him, the guy at the podium, say words, and he'll never not say them. He'll say whatever he wants to. His whole camp would be like, he didn't say that. Like, what the fuck? We're watching him say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, so if the media was to be, not biased, that would just go at what he said in his camp, and you would still believe that she fucking deleted emails after being subpoenaed, and it didn't happen. That's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, fuck it. Let's get back to jokes on Facebook.
No.
I don't even give a fuck, honestly, anymore about any of this. I want whoever wins to win and us to move on with our lives.
I'm with you. I get it. But watching Bill Maher, I agree sometimes. I mean, sometimes I don't agree with Bill Maher, but about how when people say, "Well, she's just as bad," that.
No, she's not just as bad.
That's got to stop because she's not just as bad.
No,
and
I don't like her. Listen, I don't like her as a candidate. If it wasn't Trump, I would give serious consideration to another candidate. I don't like her.
Right.
I like her. Basically, for what that person said on the fucking thing. I do. He's such a disaster.
No, I get it.
Is she prepared? Yeah, she's had a lot of experience. Listen, if you like government the way it's always been run, she's the woman for the job. She's got all the experience. So if you like business as usual, what the government's doing for us, then she's the best candidate.
See, now there is I'm not trying to bust you. I get what your point is. But to me, that speaks to the guys who don't want government as usual. So you go to Donald Trump, who isn't either. He's not, hey, you know what, man, I'm going to do some things different. He's not that either.
No.
So there is no candidate that will give us what you just said is another option. That is not another option.
I voted for Bernie. I voted for him in the primary.
Me too.
And Bernie was the guy. And because of rigged elections, this twat bag who has way too much dirt on her is making this election too close with a psychopath. Right. I think Bernie would have fucking beat the shit out of Trump in this election. I don't even think it would be close in the polls.
And I believe that 100% too. I also believe that the left-wing regime, didn't believe that, and they tried to make. First off, I think it got the closer it got to the end of the primaries, the more they try to keep. like get in Bernie's way. In the beginning, they weren't. You know,
'Cause they didn't think just like Trump, they didn't think he was going to make it that far.
Exactly. And I don't even think that wasn't like they like that healthy stuff. He was giving them healthy stuff to talk, although he was exposing her for a lot of things.
Right.
Bernie was.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, you just stay there because this Republican primary is so insane. We'll just watch that for a while.
Right.
And they let Bernie do his thing, and the Republican thing happened, and then the Republicans allowed just like the lady who commented on my post, the lesser of two evils. That's a lie. We know the reason why you like Trump is because you stand for what he stands for.
Right.
The Republicans didn't Donald Trump didn't just happen to their party. He is their party.
Yeah.
They just can't say he is their party because then a lot of their followers will be like, you believe that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they got to be like, no, man, he took our party hostage. You would have never let that happen. Look what the Democrats did. They don't let that happen. If you're telling me this thing is fixed, you would have never let that happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way Donald would have been the man if they didn't want him to be the man. And that's it. Just like Bernie didn't get a chance to be the man.
The Republican Party did not want Donald to be the man. The people just voted. He won those fair and square, those primaries. Bernie probably could have won, but, I mean, not enough people voted for him. I mean, it just was simple as that. I mean, the Republican Party really tried to push Donald out big time. They're still trying to. It's a week to the election, and I think the reason don't like him. But people do. That's why I think it could be a surprise election.
I think the reason why they give the appearance of pushing him out is because there's down ballots in places that may lose if they don't support them. And they might lose the control of the House. And the truth is that if Donald does get elected, he is such a small part of what the big picture is in the Republicans' world. The Republicans are just as politician-y as the Democrats, if not more.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the thing that bothers me when the Republicans try to act, when you hear these Republicans, like Republicans who've been Republicans for 15, 20 years, like diehard Republicans, like Donald Trump is exposing the establishment. Like, motherfucker, you've been the establishment.
Yeah.
Don't try to act like you've been trying to expose it yourself. If that was the case, the shit would have been exposed.
Yeah.
You guys have been hiding behind closed doors your whole life now. And now Donald's coming in with a flashlight and you're like putting shit in drawers like, yeah, let's go get him, Donnie. Like, oh, you've been doing shady shit your whole career.
Yeah.
You have to act like you're okay with it.
Right.
So like, I'm just think that they're trying to control the outcome. So if Donald does get in, he has the support system in place, because if he doesn't, he's not getting anything done anyhow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm interested in election day to see how it plays out.
And then they have people talk about, the Supreme Court justices, like my nephew. I love my nephew, and yesterday he came over and he's like, "Well, it's an important election because there's going to be 3 seats open." And I just went like, "How has that ever affected you? You're an iron worker. When's the first time? This is the first time you ever said the word Supreme Court justices out loud."
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't affect us, but the only thing it really affects is people who are anti-everything. The people who are anti-gays, all that shit,
yeah,
that's where they get nervous.
Right.
Like regular, are you nervous about Supreme Court justices?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want
Second Amendment thing.
I know. Not Second Amendment. I don't want a right-wing Supreme Court justice getting in and changing Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. So I am concerned.
All the way.
Right, I'm concerned. Yeah, you're concerned for what you believe in, and because Supreme Court can change the law of the land.
But I'm concerned too. But the ones who are like my nephew, I'm just saying my nephew, and I love my nephew, but his recent discovery of the Supreme Court justices is because a lot of stuff in the right wings that aren't happy about are questioning.
Yeah.
I mean, like the open marriage, and I'm not saying,
that's already the law of the land. So,
but they're gonna make an amendment to make it not the law of the land.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing on that, but
one of the abortion, they want that.
Yeah.
But they gun control.
They won't mess with gun control. That'll be a
They're going to
state's
make
issue.
sure that it's locked in. That's their thing. There's no open.
I'm very I'm weird. I'm a Democrat that's very I agree with the Republicans on the gun issue. I mean,
But did you hear her in a debate when she was like, of course I believe in a Second Amendment, but we also got to look at some things, don't we?
No, I agree with her on that.
That's the whole thing.
She's a very, let me tell you something. She's more Republican than the Republicans are right now. She's barely Democratic. A Democrat.
Right.
She's way more of a hawk in that.
Yeah.
But I mean the gun control, that can listen, you can't all the guns that are currently made, even if you started collecting them today, it would take you like 100 years to get them all. So that issue's, you just got to learn how to deal with the issue.
I believe that. But I also believe there's some things you can do to close up some of the holes. You can't just look at it like, well, you know what? So many out there. Fuck it. Turn your back to the gun control. We're not doing nothing with that. You can't even control that. Let's move on to something else. You got to be like, well, there's a couple of things we could do to stop some of the bleeding, right? There's got to be something we could do to stop some of the bleeding. Not all of it. And you're not going to correct the problem. It's a lot going on.
You know what the problem is with the guns? People only come out with this when they have like some weird mass shooting by some psychopath, like at a school.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
now we're just talking about it.
No, but I'm saying but I'm saying that's really when it comes into the public consciousness. You know what I mean? It's like, so this is like a psychopath who got a gun from a family member who went and did a shooting spree. It's like nothing would have stopped him.
Right. Absolutely.
No gun control would have stopped him.
Just like I believe no border control will stop a Mexican who wants to get in and kill you. So that can forget border control. It's the same exact concept to me.
What do you mean?
Because
that's the total. I don't even.
No, because you just said if a psychopath wants a gun, he's going to get one.
Yeah.
If a crazy motherfucking Arab wants to come in and blow us up, he's a coming.
Yeah. You have to accept freedom. Right? Freedom comes with a cost.
Freedom, exactly.
Comes with a cost.
But I also agree that you got to fucking sew up the borders a little bit. You got to have a little bit of a challenge for the guy coming in.
Sure.
So gun control, you have to have a little bit of a challenge for the crazy guy to get a gun. That's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, the problem is that crazy guy don't have the challenge.
But so
because the normal guy bought the gun. The normal guy bought the gun. The crazy guy stole the gun.
What about the normal guy who bought the gun and sold it at a trade show, and the crazy guy got it with no background check?
Yeah, but
we don't want to fix that. Oh yeah, that never happens.
What? No. The crazy guys aren't buying them. A lot of the crazy guys aren't buying them that do these mass shootings that make it in the news. Aren't buying them at trade shows. They're not. They're not
mass shootings. It doesn't have to just be a mass. See, like you're the one saying like it's a mass shooting. So
I'm saying that's shooting. When people talk about it.
I know, but I'm talking about just in general. Don't you think some guns fall through that crack?
Yes, but it's going to be. Nothing's going to be perfect.
So there you go.
You have to enforce the rules on the books. Yes, I am okay with it.
So you're okay with the trade show not doing a background check?
Well, they're supposed to. Whether they do, you can't have people constantly checking on them. They're supposed to do background checks.
Sure. So but one of the law.
You're supposed to have a gun card when you go there. Like when you purchase a gun at a gun show, you're supposed to have a gun card, which has already given you the background check. When I get a gun card in New Jersey, I've already gotten my background check. Now I have this card that I can go to a place and buy a gun because I've been vetted.
But one of the suggestions in the law is to close some of those gaps that are back there. Just look at them and close some of them.
Okay.
See, that's something.
All right. Okay. You could do that, but I don't think that'll stop it.
Right. But it's like, hey, I got a leak in my roof. There's a little hole right there I could patch. There's a big crack over there I got to get to eventually. So don't fuck the little hole too?
Yeah, well, here's the tough thing with gun control and mental illness is when you go get your gun card, you don't get a mental health checkup.
Right. There's some things that have to be looked at.
But nor do you want the government to have to give you mental health checkups.
See, that you can't, that's the thing.
That's a freedom. We're not going to be trying to say whether people are mentally fit or not.
I believe that should be something.
No. Because who dictates that?
An actual test made up that we all say, yeah, that makes sense. If you can't pass that test, you don't get a gun.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a slippery slope, man.
It's only slippery if you don't allow anybody to check and balance that check.
Yeah,
test.
but if you fail the test and you find yourself to be like I don't know, I don't like that.
Well,
I don't like that. I don't like government having that much control over my life.
Right.
I don't.
I get that this is part of the world. We're going to get killed by guns. We're going to get killed by terrorists. We're going to get killed by drugs. This is a part of the world, and we should be able to. This is just part of being alive. We should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Without government being involved in every little thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I also think if we can address little issues that may say we do the little background check saves one person for the year. I think that's worth it. One person for the year. It's a person.
Yeah. I don't see what the problem is. Why people are against having armed security guards at schools and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know.
Like, why? Because money. They don't want to spend the money. They don't want to pay these people. People don't want their taxes going up to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well,
yeah.
So if let's keep our schools safe. Hey, shit. I went on interviews to be a teacher in Newark, and you have to go through metal detectors.
Right.
Me, like a regular dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So have that in a suburban school.
Right. Have them in every school.
Any school. Money well spent. See,
right.
I think those are actual, like, paying an armed security guard and having metal detectors is money spent that will actually lead to saving lives, as opposed to let's write this law that no one's going to enforce, that there's still going to be a loophole no matter what type of law you write. Some weird gun salesman's still going to sell it to the guy who doesn't have the card. You know what I mean?
But I get it. I get it. But that's like sitting out there. I'm a cop, and the speed limit's 40, and everyone's doing 60. I can't pull anybody over, man. They're all doing 60. I quit. I can't pull them over, man. Everyone's doing 60, dude. Can't stop anybody and give them a ticket, man, because they're all doing 60. Fuck.
I don't get your analogy.
My analogy is just because it's happening doesn't mean you go, well, I can't do nothing about it.
You got to do realistic things about it. I don't think more laws is always the way to go because criminals break laws.
But if you can look at the law and say, yes, that may save a couple of lives, why would you not let that happen?
Because it doesn't answer the problem.
But that's what I'm saying is if I can adjust one law that saves lives, why would you not allow it? Because you just want it out of you want the
because sometimes it doesn't save lives. Sometimes all it does is make people feel better. Just kind of like how we have to take our fucking shoes off at the airport. It's a fucking inconvenience that we've given up. Like we get like body scan for the illusion that something's not going to happen. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
It is that I get what you're saying,
but because it does nothing. It does nothing.
But I'm not saying change laws that do nothing. If you can comprehensively look at something and go, that will make a difference. It's a little change and it'll make a difference. You personally, right now can't say it won't change. Like,
but you don't either. You can't say it will change.
I'm not because I'm saying
all you're doing with a law is taking away more freedoms.
No. See, there it all hinges on that illusion. That's an illusion.
It's not an illusion.
All I'm saying is if people look.
A law is a direct change of your freedom. Any law is a direct change to people's freedom. Any law.
Yeah, but, right. What I'm saying is if you can look at all the laws and say, wow, there's a little change we can make right there, and that's going to save lives. And everyone says, yeah, that makes sense. You can't go, no, it won't work.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to everybody.
But also there's no laws out there that we're talking about. I'm saying if you can find one, why would you not go with it?
Because, Mike, what you're not getting is that laws are only as good as people that follow them. Criminals don't follow the law, and that's who does these crimes.
Yet
and all laws do is
everywhere.
make it harder for law-abiding citizens like me to get shit done.
Right.
Criminals don't follow the laws. Criminals be like, oh, wow, there's this new background check, so I guess I'll never get a gun, so there's no other way around this. That's not going to happen. They're going to find a way to get the gun.
So, but what's the big deal about doing a background check?
They do them now. They do them now.
But what's the big deal with adding levels to it? What's the big deal? Because it bothers you?
Yes.
Who cares?
Because it's still going to happen. The criminal is going to get around that.
All right, let's do that route. We'll take that route. Drop all laws because I'm going to get drugs. I'm going to fucking steal. What are you going to do to me? I'm going to do it anyhow.
Because you have to have a reason. You have to have a law to imprison people for breaking the law.
Yeah, well, why? They're going to break it anyhow.
Because you still need a reason to to put people
The
in
law
jail.
is the reason.
You need a reason to put people in jail. You can't not have laws, but more laws don't make criminals stop.
Yeah, but
The laws on the book currently, if enforced, they don't enforce the laws. Okay, they don't enforce the current laws on the books.
Let's go back 50 years before heroin was out there, whatever, how long ago, and before you could not legally do heroin. Then people start doing heroin, and they're like, fuck, got to add that to the laws, man. You can't do that shit. Or we could have done what you're doing. Look at what the dudes are doing with beer, man. People are going to want to do it.
Listen, it's already come out. It came out in the past 2 years. The drug laws, especially the marijuana laws and the crack cocaine laws, well, actually, the marijuana laws, especially the drug enforcement, like Richard Nixon put a lot of these laws in to incarcerate black people. That was his end game.
I think drug laws should be. I think drugs should be legal. Period. I was just using it as a point of reference.
Me too.
I could just say, whatever.
Because drugs are a prime example. Laws and regulations on drugs don't stop people.
Yeah, but that's a personal thing that I'm doing to myself, and I should be able to do that. Buying a gun is a little less. It's a little more about you. That's why there's DUIs. I don't believe you should be able to just drink and drive, although that's your dumb choice.
If I go to buy a gun right now with my gun card, I can't walk into the store and walk out of it. They still give you a couple days because they want to make sure you're not manically going in and buying a firearm to go kill someone right now.
Which is a good thing.
Right, it's a good thing, and it works.
Right.
But if I'm the type of killer that could wait a couple days, it's not going to work. So if they added 10 more days on top of that, maybe I could just wait 10 more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to stop a psycho killer by making it longer for me to get the gun.
Yeah, because the psycho killer is 1 out of every 30, right? Let's just say 1 out of every 100 dudes is a psycho killer.
Right.
50 of those 100 might be the guy's like, you know what, I want to fucking end it, but he has to wait 2 days to get a guy's like, fuck it, but time 2 days.
Yeah, sometimes that saves people. Yeah, from suicide.
So,
yeah.
So you might have. We're not going to say 50. I'm only using numbers. But let's say you say 5 people out of 100. 1 out of 100 is a psycho. He's getting through. 5 didn't get through. So you save 5 people.
Right.
On that one little law. I know it's not a big deal, but you saved some lives. Yes, more government kind of sucks. More government in anything sucks because it makes everything a hassle.
Right.
It does. I get it, man. I totally get it. But 100 years ago, you could smack the shit out of your wife and not get in trouble.
Right.
Someone put that in the law. Now, at the time they were voting it into law, if everyone goes, yeah, bro, but I'm going to still smack the fuck out of my wife. What are we doing here? Right. Oh, don't make it a law then. Never mind.
Yeah.
It has to be a law.
All right. Well,
right?
Mike, more gun violence happens in Chicago than any other place. And none of these guys are buying their guns in stores or at trade shows.
Not at all.
So like,
my point
how
is,
you stopping them? How you stopping that kid in Sandy Hook who took his mother's gun and went to school and shot the kids?
Dude, I'm not citing cases as examples of why we need gun control. All I'm saying is if you're a normal human, you can look and say, hey, maybe we can try to figure out, maybe save a couple lives. I'm not going to save everybody because there's so many guns out there. But to have the cynical look of, well, it's out there, it happens.
No. I'm saying there should be, but the stuff they propose is just is stupid.
Right, well,
you know what I mean?
I'm not
like Chicago has the toughest, Illinois has the toughest gun laws in the nation and the most gun violence in the nation.
Yes.
Explain that.
I understand. I'm going to say it again. This way we're all on the same page. If someone could look at the laws and come up with a solution that works for everybody, why would we not try that? And that's all.
Right, and I think we're slowly getting there as a society, and I think Clinton will be good with this. I think the ball moves slower. It's like you do a little bit here, a little bit there. You'll never find perfect. You know what I mean? And I think Clinton will move the ball. I think she has a little bit of all Democrats, a little bit more rationale about the guns. You know what I mean? A guy like Bill Maher's like, get rid of all guns.
No, like that's like you can't do that.
Right.
Like, I don't even think that's no way. I mean, that's what makes us great is because we are able to arm ourselves, and in case our government turns on us, which not for nothing, my little handheld gun ain't gonna do shit. But
yeah, we're done against the government. We can't.
Yeah.
There was that guy with the gun in Texas where they sent a robot out and they exploded a bomb near him. Right there, every gun owner should have been like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm taking over the government." They have robots now.
I know. no. They have drones. They have things like
Yeah.
your little AK is not going to really do it. So, like, other than that, but it's a good
That's going to be the next mass thing happening because we could buy drones so easy in this country. These simple little drones. You know, a motherfucker is going to send drone into something with a bomb on it.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you already have to when you buy. If I wanted to go buy a drone for my camera, I gotta register with the Federal Aviation Administration.
Yeah, I know. And then there's some that you can't even. They're regulated. They can't go They can't go height.
Yeah.
A certain height, and then the remotes only are able to get them legally. Like say a half a mile away from you. Like not even that far.
Yeah. Listen, man, the gun laws in New Jersey are very tight. My father died a year and a half ago. His guns are still in Spotswood Police Department. We still can't get them. They're legal guns, bought legally.
Right.
And it's just they fucking suck, man.
But what I was saying, this is just to end it. Yeah. I'm not saying all. I have a very, 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 very hard time looking at stuff. And I'm not saying this is you, but it is kind of you. So cynical that we can't do nothing about it.
No, I'm not cynical. I just don't believe some of the stuff they proposed, like this gun show stuff, does anything. That's just my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion.
Right, but I believe
my personal opinion is right. They need to enforce the laws that are on the books already.
See, that's
gun shows
a positive thing.
Yeah,
that's a positive way to look at it. Not. I can't give my brain to anything. It's not just this. To ever saying, well, it is what it is. It's so like that. I just cannot that guy. I'll never be that guy to think that we're too far gone to at least try. And I'm not saying what they have out there works. It doesn't. But I'm saying somebody with a half a brain should be able to look at those laws and go, maybe we could fill that gap.
Yeah.
Somebody should.
Yeah.
That where everyone like you, people who are really crazy gun guys, not like you, like really crazy gun guys, can at least look at the law and go, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's smart people on this planet. I just don't know why they can't get there, but I believe they should try. There should be somebody trying.
Yeah.
To get there. You know what I mean? And I know Chicago is a horrible example of guys who want guns, criminals who want guns. They're going to get them.
Like, I always wonder, like, because, you know, it's just the nature of news and how we get news is, like, you always see, like, you know, the bad shit. You know, it's just news. Bad shootings, bad killings. Like, I wonder if the news, like, flipped on its side and each night you learned about all the ones police prevented. Like, how safe you would feel as opposed to how scared you would feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Be like, wow, the police stopped this killer tonight. Like, the police, this guy was going to, like, you rarely hear about things like that. Or sometimes you don't even know if, like, a cop was doing his police work and pulled over a guy that had firearms and then they took him in, but he didn't make the story, but he was on his way to fucking kill a bunch of motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I think we just hear this, I think it's another media thing. It's like they just make us so scared.
Right.
You know what I mean? They make it so much scarier than it really is. And I think that's why psycho gun owners hold on to their guns so tight and they're all afraid. They're like, you see what the fuck's going out there? Fucking people shoot mother. See, I'm a gun support. Listen, I'm a Second Amendment supporter, shooting guns my whole life. I don't even have one in my house.
Right.
And that's only because I know I'm susceptible to depression. And it's true. Like, my boss said, he goes, you don't have any guns? And I was like, no, I get down. And I don't need that here.
I get too depressed.
A knife takes a little length. Like, if I'm going to do something, you know what I mean? But, like, a gun's so quick.
Yeah.
If I'm really down. And I just don't trust myself.
Right.
But he goes, wow, that's very, you know, like, you really know yourself pretty well to make a decision. I'm like, yeah, I'm smart.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why
I think Mark Maron did a joke on it one time where he said, like, why doesn't he have a gun? He goes, that's like saying I want to die, but what the fuck? I have to get it one time. I'll tell you another time. Here's some joke about like I want it to be a surprise or something.
Put it in right here in the podcast. You're gonna find a little clip and you'll put it in maybe if you find a clip.
If I find a clip, I'm not. I have too much to do today. I'm not.
I don't have a gun, not because I'm gonna hurt myself, but I am an asshole, and I will pull it out on somebody.
Right.
I know for a fact.
I hope I wouldn't hurt myself. I don't feel like I'm suicidal anymore, but you're like, why risk
but I
it?
could be. I don't know if I'm going to be homicidal.
Yeah.
But I definitely am okay with threatening you with a gun. I've done it. I've done it when I was younger.
I just got to put it out there because I know my brother Mike occasionally listens to this. Sometimes my brother Chris, like, I'm okay, guys. I swear, I really am. I'm feeling good. I had a great Halloween with the kids yesterday. I do not want to. You guys know me.
If Thursday afternoon your brother show up on your lawn, like, hey, buddy, figure we'd take you out for some Chipotle. You want to go get some Chipotle?
Yeah. No, I'm good, but you know, it's what it is. It is what it is. Don't need one here.
Yeah, Jim Brewer had a joke about. He's like, I can't get a gun because I'm a wielder. I would wield it. He's like, walk into a restaurant and like, reservation for two. Yeah, we don't have any seats. You pull it out. You want to look again? You want to take a look again? Look at your book. Like, yeah, I thought you found some seats. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm the wielder. I would too. I would pull it out.
But I'm definitely not a guy like my brother. Like they believe in like right to carry. I don't believe in that.
No.
I don't. What are we in a fucking Wild West here? What's going? I mean, I don't know.
Speaking of the Wild West, did you try Westworld?
No, I'm going to.
Dude, no, I don't want to even hear it.
No, listen. This is what happened on Saturday. I planned on watching Westworld, Divorce. I planned on a whole day of. I had a buddy of mine, Steve, said he goes, "Hey, I want to come hiking with you and your dog and bring my camera and take some photos of nature and shit." So I'm like, "Yeah, all right. Come on up." I usually go at like 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
So he's like, "All right," and then he texted me the day before. I can't get up there till 11. I'm like, "Well, all right. I can hang out for a little bit." And rolling. Yeah. Mind if a friend comes? Yeah, it's fine. She can come, and then. I mean, get to hiking. So they come at like 20 after 11. By the time we get to the trails, it's almost 11:45. Then she's breastfeeding, so she's like, "Can I go pump my pump in the car? Can you guys wait like 15 minutes? So we're at the trails. Wait another 15 minutes to breast pump."
Right.
At first, I thought there was a baby in there. I was like, "Oh, there's a baby in there." And then she came out with no baby. I'm like, "Oh, I guess you just pump." I don't know.
Yeah.
Just pump whenever time's right or something. So, long story short, it took this really long hike, and then the fucking day was killed because of like everything kept getting pushed later and later and later.
Yeah.
Then by the time I got home, I'm like, gotta eat, and then boom,
sleep.
Yeah, a little nap in. Then I did Game of Thrones, 2 episodes of Game of Thrones like I wanted. Then I was about to do Westworld, and I'm like, whoa, the fucking World Series is on tonight.
That's right. Yeah,
so I watched the World. I'm like, I can watch World Series. So that's why I never got to it, but I plan on doing it my next bunch of days off.
Okay.
I was hoping to do it so we could talk about it.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Want to talk about the Walking Dead? Did you see yesterday's?
Yeah.
Thank God it was like a relaxed, chill. I can do The Kingdom all day after that fucking first episode.
Yeah, it was kind of boring, but it was okay.
I'm good with it. I need it boring.
Needed boring, yeah.
I need it like la 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 la. Yeah, I needed that.
At first, people were pissed about that first episode. I saw a lot of people like hating on it and stuff.
Dude, it was so brutal. It was uncomfortable, man. The way Glenn died was so brutal.
Well, that's what people were complaining about, apparently. And then, but I agree with I think it was the writer I saw on Talking Dead, or did I read something? He's like, Glenn was such a big character, it had to be that brutal for you to accept it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have Glenn just like, whoopsie daisy, and like fall, and then
like a walker eats him and it's over.
Yeah. No, you need.
Yeah.
Well, actually, did you see because I guess they cut it a few different ways. There was somebody put up like a cell phone video from the cutting room.
Right.
Where they had it like an alternate where Maggie gets mauled.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you see her getting bashed.
No. Well, Maggie does get bashed in the episode, but it's like, in his dreams.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then maybe they just saw that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just put that up.
Yeah, but it was this whole speech that Negan was giving her and
really?
Stuff. It was like a whole like thing.
Ugh.
But
I didn't.
But it's getting vicious, man.
Yeah,
what do you think's up with the pigs, though? What do you think's up with the pigs?
Well, they're hoping that the pigs get the virus and make the guys sick. That's what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you don't want these. But if you have these pigs with the fucking virus, it's gonna fuck up your world too. If there's fucking wild pigs are running around, can turn people into zombies.
Yeah, true.
like your little plan to kill off other people, maybe.
Yeah.
Because
Backfire.
slow walking zombies is one thing. Pigs move motherfucking fast, bro.
Yeah.
I have friends that will go wild boar hunting.
Yeah.
So they have a 30-30 lever action rifle, a knife, and a 357 Magnum on their hip, because they'll shoot the fucking boar with the rifle, and they also have on their boots spikes because the boar will come after you. You got to climb a tree and then shoot it with the fucking 357. It's like they're like, "What, you shot me? I'm fucking gonna kill you." Some boars, you know what I mean? Some, if you don't hit them right in the head, you know.
Right.
Like, they're fucking vicious, man. I don't want those zombie boars. I feel like, oh Jesus.
I like to know how they keep the boars going. I mean, where are they going? How are they farming these animals? How are the boars not getting eaten by zombies out in the, you know?
Well, I don't think the zombies are after the boars.
No?
I don't know. I mean, the zombies got a hard time catching the boar. Boars are fast. You can get an animal with 4 legs get away better than we can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they gotta keep feeding these. What do you say? Next week is produce. They gotta grow produce for fucking Negan's crew.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. This is. But I think it's gonna be a good season.
Oh no, it's gonna be a good season because it's really he's vicious. This Negan. Yeah. I'm glad I never read the comic books because some of my friends kind of already have ideas about what could be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that I have no idea.
I have no idea.
No, I did know the possibility of Glenn dying because people already told me he did die by Negan in the books. Then they added Abraham to throw you off a little bit.
Yeah, that did.
That's who I guessed. I guessed it was going to be Abraham. That was my guess. Yeah, only because I thought he was the most expendable character that was the most popular.
Right.
Like the other dude with the Elvis hair, he's expendable, but no, you don't like him as much as you liked Abraham because Abraham, he's following his relationships. He's become more of this character.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if I'm not wrong, it's didn't when they met Abraham, he was almost like an enemy to them, then they became friends.
Well, because he had one mission to get fucking dummy, who said he was a doctor, to Washington.
Right.
And so he was on a mission. He was in the army, so he was on a mission.
Yeah.
Anybody getting in the way of that mission was going to go down. And then finally he got honest and was like, "Oh, you're not a doctor, you fucking asshole."
Well, this is something me and my wife argued about. I was thinking, looking at Negan, and you're yeah, he's vicious. He just killed 2 characters we love. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, is he a real bad guy? Is he he's a bad guy to our guys?
Yeah.
But we just killed a few of his guys.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know what I mean? He's a good guy to his guys.
Yeah.
And he really could have killed all our guys right there. The series could have ended that episode if he wanted to. So I'm like, is he really that bad of a guy? He did a little, and Carrie's like, "No, not buying this little theory you're trying to sell me on." She's like, "I fucking hate him. I don't care what you're saying. He's a fucking awful guy, shitty guy, bad guy." And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
No, you're right. We just killed a shitload of his men.
Right.
And then in retaliation, he killed one of ours. And then because Daryl jumped up, he killed another one of ours.
Yeah.
To make a point. But what makes him a vicious, crazy person, that he did it to make a point to keep all his people in check, number one. Number 2, he provides a good living for the people who follow him by making other people surrender their products or they die.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an evil guy.
Yeah, he's kind of evil.
But I get your point. He could have just slaughtered everybody. Fuck it, let's go back to work. But the reason why he didn't kill Rick and the crew is because they are earners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the mob. Dude, it's you know what I mean? They don't get whacked because they're earners.
What's Rick's real name in real life? Andrew Lincoln?
Yeah.
he should get an Emmy nomination just off that scene alone where Negan was asking him to cut Carl's arm off.
Oh, that was great. Oh, yeah.
That's Emmy.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who's acting this year. Ain't nobody doing a fucking dramatic scene is good. That was the best dramatic acting I've seen all.
Yeah, it was really good.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck Downton Abbey or whatever the fuck they're doing over there. Fuck that. I don't want to hear nothing, man. That was...
You know what? A show like that, even though he did great, won't get a nod because it's a zombie kind of show and it's like a horror show.
Know, but that was good. He's a good fucking actor.
Yeah, he is.
Let me tell you something. I would give half these TV shows that I love, the moment I found out one of these motherfuckers are from Australia or Britain, I'm like, give him an Emmy. I didn't even know. Fucking motherfucker coming out with an accent like that? Get the fuck out of here. That's why I can't be in charge of the Emmys. All foreigners would get it. Be like,
you know who's really bad? I love her. She's hot. Maggie. What's her name?
Yeah.
Her accent is horrible. That southern accent.
Yeah.
And she's trying to squeak out that Australian accent.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's like she really has to force herself. That's why she has very little dialogue. Do you ever hear her? She don't have monologues. She has a couple of sentences. Glenn, come on. That's it. She's also getting really spit out. Because if she goes a whole dialogue, you could see she's struggling with words.
Did you see Talking Dead after the?
I just watched the first 10 minutes
of the first one.
Like no, I did not watch any of it.
Well, because the whole cast is out there for this one.
Okay.
For that one, it's just like these actors stink off the cuff just talking. They got nothing unless it's the written word. They got nothing except Negan. At least he looks like a fun dude, the guy who plays him, you know?
Right.
But or Glenn was good on his toes.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good dude, but Maggie, me and Carrie, does she even know what the fuck she's saying? You're probably like, hey, Maggie, question. Okay, I'm going to start saying words now. Just I'm going to start putting out words and hopefully it makes sense to you when they all get to you. You're like, what?
You know, you watched last week's Walking Dead. I mean, yesterday's Talking Dead.
I didn't watch yesterday's Talking Dead.
I just watched 10 minutes of it with they had the King Ezekiel.
Oh, okay.
On.
Yeah.
He has
he's
no
bald, yeah.
Yeah, and not a foreigner, so he speaks English. He was good. Mm-hmm. He was good on the cuff, but he would say the same, he'd be like, how it is the way that's how every sentence started. The way it was I'm like, holy shit, man. Fucking talk, man. Talk. But once he talked, every sentence stuttered through.
Yeah. That's good.
You gotta watch Westworld. It is confusing as fuck, but I'm 5 episodes in. I still have no idea what we're doing.
All right, maybe I'll try it tonight before the World Series game.
And I like it. I like the show. I do like the show. But now that I'm 5 episodes in, I'm like, they're not giving me enough people to love. There's a lot of people, a lot of characters, a lot of things happening, but I can't focus in on one of them to go this is my guy. I want this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You haven't attached yourself to anybody.
Yeah, and every show I watch, even the show Roadies that got canceled, I liked the cast. I liked everyone's little story. I fell in love with all the people.
Yeah.
Divorce, I fell in love with I like the characters already. It's only 4 episodes in. I like the characters, so I want to watch it.
Right.
Westworld, it's you're not giving me anybody to love. I like the story. It's very interesting. It's a weird story. But you got to give me somebody to fall in love with here.
Well, yeah.
I'm not fucking caring.
Yeah, it's tough when that's why I gave up on some shows. I'm I can't connect. Let's fucking...
Yeah. That's it. I'm not connecting with something.
So you're not making me excited about checking it out. You should check it out. I'm 5 in and I haven't connected to any characters yet.
But you may.
You should definitely check this show out.
You may.
Keep the characters very distant from you. You don't really care about any of their stories. Wow. Can't wait to dig into this one. Hey, honey, go pop some popcorn. About to not be intrigued by anybody.
5 episodes. Here we go.
This show's great. I don't like anybody.
The thing is
I wonder where they're going. But you know what? It doesn't even matter because I don't care. But the visuals.
It's the storyline.
Yeah.
It's the idea behind it that's very intriguing.
Yeah.
But there's only, like, you only get to see maybe 8 real humans.
Okay.
And the rest are on the show. You know, they're considered robots. I mean, they're real people playing the robots, but they're robots.
Yeah.
So you're only seeing, like, to me, you're only really seeing 8 true lives, but the robots are finding stuff deep in their memory banks that are making them feel like they're alive.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, but it's hard for me to fall in love with a robot. Like, it's like, you're programmed, bro. They're going to just reprogram you to start over again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
it's humans that I need to connect to, and ain't enough of them.
Yeah.
But it's the story that's interesting.
Cool, man. I'll definitely check it out. You been watching the World Series?
I didn't watch it, Sunday because I was watching football, but yeah.
Wow. It's good, man. It's a good World Series.
It's 3-2. Cubs got to go back and sweep at home. Probably not going to happen.
Well, here was my take on it. Because when the Indians went up 3-1, I felt that was more important for the Indians to have a chance to go up 3-1 than the Cubs to win that game. Because the Cubs were going to be throwing 2 great pitchers in a row, and the Indians are done with. That was their last great pitcher till like the rotation goes around.
Yeah.
So I felt they needed that one.
The one to win it to end it.
No. The one to go up 3-1.
Yeah.
I think they needed to be up 3-1 to have a shot. If it was 2-2, they'd now be down
3-2.
3-2, and it'd be and then Arrieta, and then you would have brought back Lester again. It would have. I felt the Indians
split.
Yeah.
Do you believe right now they're going to split at home?
Yes, I think we're going to have a Game 7.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I think they're going to have a Game 7 if Arrieta goes at least 8 innings. Because fucking, what's his face? Chapman went 3 innings to win that game in relief.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he blew them away those 3 innings. There was runners on base every inning.
Right.
So he could be a little tired. I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch.
But he got a day off, too, so.
They get a day off, but their bullpen has to go from starting pitcher to that guy. The other guys are no good.
Yeah.
They can't be having no 4-inning, 5-inning.
No, they don't have an Andrew Miller.
Well, that's the problem now. That's what sucks about them having their backs against the walls. You can't leave a guy out there because you don't have a game to play with. So if he's sucking in the second inning, giving up runs, you got to pull him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I've been rooting for the Indians the whole time, so I'm hoping.
Honestly, I'm not really emotionally invested, but I would like to see the Cubs get rid of that, that fucking horrific streak.
I got invested for 2 teams I don't give a fuck about. I've never watched the World Series and enjoyed it as much without my team being in it.
I liked last year's just because I really enjoyed the Mets losing and falling apart.
Yeah, but the series sucked.
It did.
They just got their asses handed to them.
Yeah. But I enjoyed watching that.
No, yeah, it's fun. But
2 years ago, I liked that World Series.
But these Indians remind me of like the '96 Yankees. This like little dinks and dunks, and you got the veteran guy coming through. Like Coco Crisp came through to scored the one run that one night. They won by 1 run.
I love that his name is Coco Crisp.
Yeah,
for real.
Infuriates my wife. She's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
That's like his name.
Yeah, they were telling some funny Terry Francona stories. That guy, I just love that guy. The coach.
Yeah, I know who it is.
They were telling some story when he was the Red Sox manager, and I think the guy Sean Casey was the hitter, and he's known to be a little slow.
Right.
So he hit a liner in the gap, which could have been a triple to anybody, but he got thrown out with a lot of time in second. That's how slow he ran.
Yeah.
So he comes in the dugout and trying to stay away from Francona, and Francona says like, "Yo, come over here," and he goes, "Hey, you ever get checked for polio?"
Oh, that's hilarious.
I just love that. I was like, I love this guy. But they said that's the type of guy he is. Like he's very like makes jokes. Like when the guys suck and do something stupid, he always comes up with some funny.
That's good.
Or they were telling a story about when Schilling, it was some game. Schilling was pitching and he's giving up runs, and they were in a stadium where like they let up fireworks every time like a home run is given up. So he comes out and Schilling goes, "No, get back in the dugout. You're not taking me out." Like pointing as he's walking out, and as he gets up, he's like, "There's no fucking way you're taking me out of this game." He goes, "No, I'm not. I'm just trying to give the fireworks guy a break."
That's hilarious.
When I heard those stories, I'm like, I want him to be our next coach.
Yeah.
just for his comedic value.
Right. Real quick before I was watching, I don't know, something directors. It was, I think it's like on IFC. It's like the best director. They have like, they'll do like, your favorite movie directors, and like one episode will have somebody. So it had Jon Favreau on it.
Yeah, I love him.
And he was talking about when he made Elf, and James Caan is a very serious guy.
Yeah,
he's like a very serious guy. He's like a neighborhood guy, not that fun. Like not that he's not fun, but he's like a little serious.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell is, and Khan's like, I can't believe I'm working with a guy with a fucking elf suit on. Like he just wasn't comfortable. You know what I mean? At first.
Yeah.
But he goes, by the end of the film, he really warmed up. Will Ferrell got him to warm up. And Will Ferrell gave him a rap gift, like a rap at the party, a rap gift. It was a nice gift, and he opened it. It opened it up. He goes, gave him a card. It said, this is my favorite. This is my favorite series. The first one's okay, but the last two are amazing. And when he opened it up, it's the Godfather trilogy. And he's like, the first one was okay, but the last two were amazing. But James Caan's not in the last two.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
The first one was okay, but the last two were amazing. That's just a great gag.
Caan's like the best part of fucking Godfather 1.
Yeah, I know.
I love his character in that. But did you do any comedy this weekend?
No, I did not.
We're both retired this weekend. So,
yeah.
I can't wait to get. I'm back on stage like every week starting this week, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I've been off and itching to get on stage.
Yeah. I'm working too. I mean, but my career sucks.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of weird shows too. I'm doing some storytelling shows. I don't know how they're going to turn out. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's not like you just can't do stand up. My story's going to end and be like, good night. I guess that went well.
That Watching Comics just got released.
I watched it. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that in the beginning because I'm afraid people don't make it this far to the end. However,
you want me to trap this and put it at the beginning?
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the show, guys. I did Watching Comics. And this episode doesn't really show me being a dick, but I fear that there's going to be episodes where I come off like an asshole. And the truth is, when it first started, I had no idea what it was about. To be honest with you, I watched a 4-minute clip of the show once. So I had no idea really what was going on, or why we were even doing the show. I had no idea. I just did it to do something. It gave me something to do on a Sunday, hang out with some comedians. I love comedy, and if I could help somebody be better at comedy, I wanted to do it.
Right.
However, hanging out with 4 comics, busting chops, it became like a ball busting session and making fun of some people. Now, we didn't make fun of a lot of people because I knew it would air, but there's probably a couple where I am brutal. So if that's the case, I apologize because I just kind of fed into everything going on around me. There's like 2 guys there that I legitimately did not like. Legitimately think you're sucking up oxygen in comedy clubs. Move it along.
Yeah.
The fuck out. Do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, the thing that bothers me the most about doing the show is I feel like I don't want to come off like I'm an authority on comedy. I'm a fucking loser, man. I barely am working. I have no idea what to do as a comic, man. Don't fucking ask me. Who am I? I'm not trying to give career advice. I suck. And I don't want to come off as someone who thinks that they are more than they are, because I'm not.
Yeah. Nah, I don't like the whole vibe of that show. I like I don't know, at the beginning, it alludes that these people will get passed at the Comedy Cellar or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I saw that too.
What? You out of your mind?
Yeah, I just saw that now. That like all the names of the comedy clubs, the Stand, Gotham. I'm like, what is that?
They're not passing any of these people.
No, this isn't for that.
No, I think that's what people think they're going to get.
No, the people on the show are told that they can get. They're vying for maybe a spot at a club, a paid spot at a club. They know which clubs. They're not thinking it's the Cellar or the Stand.
Yeah.
I think that's more for the viewers seeing it. Like, oh,
yeah,
these people are up for these comedy clubs. I'm going to know they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
I just looking at it now, I feel uncomfortable. I wasn't that bad. I really wasn't. And most of the time I end it with, you guys aren't ready to be judged. You guys aren't ready to be judged. You are not giving me material to judge you on.
Nor is it a venue. I talked to a few comics that performed on the episodes you watched.
Right.
And it's like, there's like 50 comics performing that day to the same small audience. It's like, yeah, unless you're the first 5,
right,
you're not getting a representative crowd.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. Listen, put up these new kids in front of a packed house of real people.
Right.
A couple a night. You know what I mean? Give them a shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Put them in front of a real hot crowd. Then we'll see. Because, even if you stink, a hot crowd is still going to give you problems.
Right.
But you could be good in front of a small crowd that's been there for hours.
Yeah.
And come off like you suck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Shit, I live it some nights. You know what I mean? I mean, with no cameras there.
I don't think anybody should be critiqued, especially if you're doing it less than 10 years. You're not ready to be critiqued.
No.
I'm sorry. Yes, there's some guys who are great at 5 and 6, 7 years. I'm not saying that there's a definite math number behind it, but at 2 and 3 years in, you're not ready to be judged. You're not ready.
And why do you want to critique comedians?
Yeah,
as a comedian,
I don't.
Why do you want like?
I'm only critiquing if I can help you. To be honest with you, I only want to critique to help you.
Right.
I don't want to critique to make you feel like you shouldn't do comedy. That's how you'll know that I don't think you should do comedy. If you ask me for my help and I got nothing for you, that means I think you're not good.
Right.
If you ask me for my help, and I go, you know what, you should do this, this, and this, that's because I felt something and I feel like you have a shot, so I'm going to give you some advice. I'm not going to tear you down.
Yeah.
And I didn't really tear anybody down. There was 2 guys who obviously deserved to be teared down, and I tore them down.
Right.
And then the rest of the people, all I kept saying is like one guy was like, you're not ready to be judged. So you're definitely not getting passed on this round, and you're just not ready to be judged. Just work harder, man, and maybe I'll judge you in 5 years from now if you want me to.
Yeah.
And it just was an awkward place for me to be. I did it, nothing to do on a Sunday. I wanted to hang out with some comics, so I did it. And I just don't want people to think that I'm a fucking dickhead or that I think that I'm an authority, because I'm not.
Yeah, that's what because I like the host as a person. You know what I mean? Like I've met him, worked with him a few times. Good guy. I'm afraid this show may put him in a bad light with other comics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if he like what he's getting out of it. You know what I mean? I think it may make him look bad to people.
Right. Yeah.
And he don't deserve that because he's a good dude. But I think like when you start shitting on people for your gain, it just looks bad.
Right.
Whether your intent is, because this, especially this business is all about perception.
Right.
It's not about what you're actually doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, why are you being addicted to like, especially when you're not like a big comedian to begin with.
Right. That's what I mean.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, who am I? I've not achieved but a couple of little things, man. I've got nothing going on. I mean, like, I'm not in the position to give you critique. If you want me to help you personally with some jokes, or you want me to give you a little suggestion on
I
how
do
to get
that at
booked.
clubs, at Mike's. I see a new comic, and I'll be like, yo, if you do this, maybe
Right.
that'll help you out. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Just like a
Right.
one-on-one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn because I like the dude who made the show, but I don't
Right.
know. I don't know where I'm not a huge fan of the show.
Yeah, it's not a well.
You know what I mean?
I hear you, because the show, and no offense to Kevin, the show is premature for the people trying to do that are on it, and it's for no reward. It's like they risk looking bad for very little reward.
Yeah, you don't. I told that to somebody. I go, you do not want video of you sucking on the internet.
No, and some judging it from fat fucking comic telling you sucked. You don't need that.
No, because I tell KP this story when I was trying to get him in Uncle Vinny's. I was like, yeah, I'm talking to Dino in the green room, and I'm like, yeah, I want my buddy that came down with me. He's a good comic. Maybe, one night we can give him a shot to open for me, like on a weeknight. And he goes, yeah, how long has he been doing it? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I just threw out a number that I thought. And then
Right.
He goes, yeah. And he just goes right on YouTube and types in, what's his name? I go, KP Burke. He types it in, and the first video pops up as the first one he grabbed.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, God, please let this be a good fucking video.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sitting here watching a fucking Booker process.
Right.
Oh,
Right,
this is
right.
your name? I'm Googling it.
Yeah.
I'm not sifting through YouTube. Here's your first one.
Yeah.
Then he watches the beginning, and then he fast forward to see how you ended.
Right.
Like, yeah, he's like, I'm not watching 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But he was open for Nick DiPaolo, destroyed. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, thank God.
Okay.
But I'm
Right,
saying, though, like, if that was a video of him bombing and then someone critiquing the bomb,
He would have been
done. Like, and that's only what that Booker's going to remember.
Right.
I don't give a fuck the next upload you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because even if you did
Yeah.
upload a new good video, he's now going into it with a negative frame of mind. Like, oh, let's see what this fucking guy has.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Here we go again.
I only know that because that's how I would go into it. I'm just projecting my own, like, oh, this fucking guy again? Let's, all right, play it. Unless you knock me off my socks that first joke, you're already in the hole.
Yeah. Way in the hole.
Way in the hole. But that's that.
That's that.
That's that, and you can't do nothing about it. So where you at this weekend, bro?
Well, Thursday I'm doing a spot for Anthony up at Ha, like for a private show. He asked me to do a spot for him.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to go up there. And then Friday, I think I'm off Friday. I may be at Dangerfield's. And Saturday, I'm at, I think I'm doing a private in Central Jersey.
Yeah.
What are you doing this Saturday? Hold on.
Thursday,
I'm in Florham Park. Is that Jersey? Florham Park?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
You're in
Saturday.
Florham Park. That's like towards me.
Yeah?
I think so. Yeah.
Where are you at this weekend?
Thursday, I'm at the Newtown Theater in Newtown, PA.
Newton?
I think it's called Newtown.
Is it Newtown or Newton?
Newton would be Newton. But
Yeah.
this is Newtown. So Newtown
Newtown.
Theaters in Newtown, PA.
Okay.
So that should be a good show. Please come out to that if you're in the Pennsylvania. Even Jersey, it's not far. It's like right by New Hope, I think, like 20 minutes from New Hope, PA.
Okay.
And so that's Thursday night. I'll be opening for Julia Scotti from America's Got Talent. That's
Nice.
for our boy James, the Comedy Shop. I'm off Friday. I was supposed to do a show at that Ha on Friday, but then they didn't want to pay me.
What?
It was like a private. It was like some
Okay.
fundraiser for like pets or some shit. They asked me
Okay.
what I would. Do you want to headline it? And I was like, sure. They go, what do you? And I was like, 300.
Right.
And they said, well, the woman running it now doesn't want to do a headliner show. Wants to do a showcase show, and each comic's getting $50.
Okay.
And then I was like, all right, never mind.
Right.
And then after I thought about it, I was like, you know what? $50, it's for pets. I'll do it. So I said, I'll do it for the $50 if it's just a small spot because
Yeah, yeah.
fundraisers for pets. But like, oh, I already filled the spot. I'm like, that's fine.
Right. Yeah.
And then
Who's booking it?
it was this comic that I know.
Okay.
It wasn't like through the club. It was like
Okay.
And then so then
Saturday?
I'm doing one of those storytelling shows at
Oh, yeah.
at Bunga's Den. I think it's at 8:00. No, I'm trying to look at the time.
Oh.
No, because I have it in my calendar at 6 o'clock, but I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
So I threw
Where's
my
that
brain
at?
off. Bunga's Den, I don't know, somewhere in New York. I have to Google it.
It's in the city?
It's in the city, so I'll be going into the city. It's more like a storytelling mic, like a booked mic for it.
Yeah.
Like
Saturday. That's Saturday.
Yeah, they don't even promote it, but I'm just trying to get my feet wet with it.
Right.
So that's that, and then maybe I'll stay in the city and grab some food or some shit while I'm in. If it's nice out, you should come into the city and we'll have food.
Well,
your gigs is probably like 8 o'clock.
It depends.
Or if you're in Forum Park when I come back out of the city, meet you somewhere in Jersey.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Where are you at next Saturday? Are you doing anything? I know you said you were going to stay home and watch boxing. Are you doing that still?
What, November 12th?
Yeah.
Currently, I have nothing, so I was going to stay home and watch UFC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Why, you got a gig?
I have a gig, and I thought it started at 7, but it doesn't start till 8:30, which sucks. But it is what it is.
Are you in Jersey?
It's Jersey.
Well,
I don't know where it's at in Jersey, but it's in Jersey somewhere.
Well, if I get the fight, swing by.
Yeah, I definitely
time
might.
for Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I know.
Least. But
that's a New York one.
Yeah, it's the biggest one ever.
Yeah.
See Ronda Rousey's talking retirement already?
Is she really?
It's going to be out on this Thursday's Ellen DeGeneres. She's like, this might be my last fight or one of my last fights.
Is she fighting in that one?
No, she's fighting December 30th.
Oh, okay.
But I thought a good sign for her December 30th fight. She's already talking about leaving UFC.
Yeah. Maybe she'd realize, man, she was on top. The game has changed. She's not a brawler. She's not she's a fucking, she's just not, unless her punching game is going to step up. She's made millions of dollars. She was on top of the world. It's hard to get back up there. Why do it to yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. But, all right. We should wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Go to iTunes and rate and comment on the show. Share it. All this shit. This is shit I got to start doing in the beginning. I
know.
Do you want me to cut that stuff and put it at the beginning?
How about we just do this right now? How about finish this up, then while we got you, we'll do a little opening promo. Listen, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is all in our heads.
All right, we'll do that. Okay, so all right. So, hey everybody, thanks for listening. You've been listening to All in Our Heads.